Hello and welcome to another episode of Indie Authors. This is Indie Authors number 8, and tonight our subject is going to be all about marketing books. And I'm joined with a wonderful panel of authors. We have Alana Woods, Amy McGuire, Larry Fournillier, Michelle Lowe, Samantha Fury, Sherry Snider, and Sonia Marsh with us tonight. We're also hosted by hangoutnetworks.com. Please visit hangoutnetworks.com, that's all one word, to see more episodes of Indie Authors as well as other fine shows. All right, tonight we're going to be talking about marketing. And we've got a lot of information on marketing. When we put this many authors together, you're going to get a lot of good ideas. So please take notes. We won't always be able to display websites on the screen, but there's a lot of good sites we're going to talk about, so have a paper and a pencil handy. And one of the things I want to point out is that a lot of authors have the same problem that I do, is they spend a lot of time writing their book, and then when their book is finally finished, then they realize, wow, hey, I've got to start marketing this thing. And that can be a real challenge. When I first finished one of my novels, someone told me that marketing my novel was going to be harder than writing it. And I thought, well, that's crazy, because writing it has been really difficult. And I didn't want to believe that marketing was going to be as much of a challenge as it was. But it turned out that marketing is really difficult. And so that's why we're here tonight, is to discuss ideas for how to market. A lot of the ideas we're going to discuss are online things that you do in cyberspace, things that are absolutely free. A few of the ideas are going to be some physical things, which people aren't thinking about sometimes these days. So we're going to get started right away. Talking about quickly some of the physical things that authors can still do to market their books once they're out. And these don't have to be paperbacks. These can also be ebooks. And so we'd like to start with Samantha Fury. Samantha, you told me you had some interesting ideas for physical methods of marketing books. Can you share some of those ideas with us?
Yes, I started out with a paperback and started doing it locally, and the best marketing tool I can find is a mother because they're really out there willing to push your information, and they don't care at all to talk about their lovely children. So be sure, if you have a mother around, to have her out there with cards and notepads and anything with your name on it to help pass your name around. But I have some little cards I've had made up from Vistaprint, and it has my 3 book covers on the front of it. And on the back, of course, it has all the pertinent information where you can find me online or locally, with my phone number, my email address. And at Christmas time, I sent out Christmas cards to everyone that bought book 1. And I'm getting some terrible feedback, but I'll go on. I leave my cards anywhere I possibly can. Walmart, Rite Aids, anywhere at the courthouse, different places like that where you can post notes on the bulletin boards. It's a great place to be out there and be seen.
Okay, that sounds really smart. Alana, I know that you have done a lot of book sales with books in the back of your car, just traveling around. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, that's how I first, when I first published my first book, I had a 1,000 print run and was told I was mad to get that many printed because I'd never sell one. But I cold called on bookshops in, if everyone's familiar with Australia, all down the east coast from Queensland right around the coast to Adelaide. And the majority of bookshops would take half a dozen books on consignment, which I preferred in the end because once I received the money for sales, I knew that the books had actually been sold. So I found in the end that was the better way than selling them to the bookshops and having returned dog-eared when they didn't sell. But for the second print run, I was finding it more difficult to get in bookshops because the chains were not taking the authors anymore. So I started selling markets and doing author talks to professional retired organisations. I don't know whether you have Probus over there, but Probus is a big one over here of professional retired business people. And I sold the next 2,000 doing it that way. And that was great because I had a lot of feedback. The people that actually met me, they felt that they knew me. And I got a lot of emails from people telling me how much they enjoyed the books, and they of course formed the base for when I went online with sales with my next book. They're the ones I emailed first. So I found so I find the face-to-face is really good. Although I have to say I haven't done it this time. I've been doing online marketing.
Well, I agree with you. I do almost all online marketing now, but I did have good experience with book signings and with meeting people, talking face-to-face, as you said, and that's always a good thing to do. Sherry, you had an interesting idea for using PR codes. Is that what it was called, PR codes?
QR codes. Actually, can you hear me?
Yes, QR codes.
Okay,
Excuse me.
QR
Can
codes.
you quickly explain what a QR code is and how you might use them for a book?
Sure. QR code is a quick response code. It looks like a little square. I'm going to try to share my screen and show you one of these. Let's see, share selected window. Do I now look like a big square code?
Yes, you do. Excellent. Perfect. Perfect.
Well, these, you can put these, they've been highly effective in magazine advertisements and newspaper ads. People are starting to put them on their book covers. The idea that I had when Samantha mentioned business cards was the idea back in college, you know, when we were trying to sell all our old textbooks and we would put up a big brochure with the tearaways at the bottom that had a phone number on them. Well, I don't know why we can't do that with a web address with the tearaway, but also put these QR codes on there. Because what these do is it lets you take your cell phone and take a picture of it, and it'll scan it in, and it'll do whatever that code tells it to do. It can take you to a website. It can give you contact information. It can give you a coupon code. They can do quite a bit. I actually did a lot of research into it. So I think I'm going to start using them. A lot of people are using them on their business cards, too. Oh, and by the way, for anybody watching, you can pause this and use your phone and actually point at this barcode right now, and you can read it from your screen. So let me know in the comments at the end of the show when you get there.
Okay, so that barcode will send somebody to your Amazon book page, for example.
Yes. What I've got here is just going straight to my blog, because when we're done here, I'm actually going to do a blog post and try to give everybody some information on how you can create these codes for free and either put them on your blog, put them on your print material, and how it's going to send them to that website. You can send it to your Amazon book link. You can send it to your blog. It's really incredible what you can do with these.
I think that's a really genius idea, because anyone who has a gadget, a new gadget that reads those QR codes is probably excited to just use it, to find things with PR codes and check stuff out. So you could have physical flyers up, you could have your business card like you say, you could post it on your blog, anything like that, and people would find your Amazon book that way.
Yeah, I'm really excited about the potential here, because I can foresee a virtual scavenger hunt using these QR codes. You have to find one that'll send you to the next clue, that'll send you to the next one in order to get the coupon code or to get a free book. So I really think it'll play well on college campuses especially. But I think it's going to be fun. Oh, and almost any smartphone can do this. As long as you have a smartphone with a camera, they can read these. You just have to download an application. So if you go to your App Store or iTunes and just type in QR, you'll find a reader. But I also found that you may already have these applications, both Redline and Shop Savvy, the ones that read the barcodes on actual products and on the back of your books, also read these QR codes. So even if you're in the middle of Walmart, you can just pull up Redline and scan this QR code, and it'll take you exactly where it's supposed to go.
Hey, Sherry, excuse me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sherry, you want to put that up again, because I have my cell phone in my hand, and I'll read it.
Is it showing? I may have to keep talking to make sure that screen stays up. During the Google Hangouts, as long as I'm talking, it should stay on my screen.
I have
Did you get there?
Yep.
Took you to a website, right?
To your website, right to your website. Yep.
Awesome. I'm loving it.
Okay, Larry, are you going to screen share that website with us?
Yeah, I can do that right now. Hold on. I have to switch to my camera.
I've also found that even if you turn these sideways and upside down, they'll still read.
Oh, that's neat.
Okay.
Let me end this.
It's amazing what a smartphone will do these days.
Absolutely. I was even playing with a backup plan. I printed one out so I could hold it in front of my face in case the screen share didn't work.
And that would probably work too.
Yeah.
Okay, Larry, let me know when you've got that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm going to move on.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Sonia, I'm going to put you on the spot here. I know that you do a lot of creative marketing ideas online, but think about some of the physical things that you do in person or physically. Oh, Larry's got a screen share for us. Larry, can you talk?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Basically, this is on my cell phone. You probably can't see it, but it's her website that the QR code took me to.
Okay, excellent, wonderful. Thank you for that. Okay, Sonia, back to you. Think of some of the physical things that you do to market your program and your book. Can you share some of those with us?
Yes. So because I love networking and I've been volunteering in a lot of different places, for example, the Newport Beach Library, I have spoken to many local businesses, like even a year ago, just to get ideas of how I could market and sell my book when it comes out. And as an example, I love to work out at my local 24-hour fitness. So, and a lot of I used to be a personal trainer, and a lot of the people know me. So I asked the local gym if I could do a book event where I would get local businesses that are in that same shopping center, like a coffee shop, the gym, and merge 2 or 3 different businesses together, and then I would do a press release and then get local businesses involved, and I would sell my book during a 2 or 3 hour period at the gym. That's one idea, and the manager agreed. Another idea is all the blogger friends that I have. One woman that I know who is American and who lives in Amsterdam mentioned something called couch surfing. And couch surfing is where you can stay at somebody's house for free and basically sleep on their couch. So I thought that would be a neat way to do a book tour around the U.S. is do it in combination with the couch surfing, and you kind of make sure that you meet with maybe with other writers, and you ask them if they could talk to their local indie bookstore ahead of time and organize something, and then in return you do the same for them when they are ready to market their book. So that was another idea I had.
So you're saying that you host someone to stay at your house, or you stay at someone else's house? I mean, how do you know these people? Do you know them ahead of time?
There's a whole group called couchsurfing.com, and couchsurfing, and they screen people, and people review the people. So obviously, if that person isn't, is some weirdo, people are going to say, oh, don't stay there, that person is strange. And it's like you review people. And it exists all over the world. Couch surfing exists in Europe, in Australia, in America. And I thought that would be a neat way to do a book tour and save you money. So that's another idea I had. There's lots of things you can do. You could, like the indie bookstores, I've already talked to 3 or 4 of them, and as long as I can get local businesses to come and maybe offer cupcakes for free, or local wine store donate wine for free, and then they promote their products and I sell my books. That way you're merging different businesses together.
Oh, these are all great ideas.
Yeah.
Has anyone done a radio interview or a news interview on television? Because what I've found is that the organizations that either have news programs on television or on radio are always looking for something to talk about. So if there's a local author who has a new book that just came out, that's basically local news. I've done a couple in the past. Has anyone else done any radio or television interviews? Nobody? Okay. Well, Alana, you have. Alana, could you tell us briefly about doing that? Alana, are you still with?
That my mute was taking some time to go back on. I have. When I first published my book several years ago, in response to a media release, I put out the several ABC radio stations, a couple of local ones, and also interstate, when I was traveling selling my books, interviewed me. But I have to say that I didn't see any great uptake in sales as a result of them.
Okay, because there are so many things. Alana, can you mute yourself? Because there are so many things to do online in cyberspace, I'd actually like to move forward and just start talking about online methods. One of the nice things about a lot of online methods is that they're absolutely free. Anyone can do this as long as they have an internet connection. I know that we have some bloggers in the group. Michelle, you told me that you like blogging, isn't that correct?
Yeah, I just started and posted two posts so far.
Oh, okay. So you're a brand new blogger, basically. What are you learning as a new blogger?
That it's a great way to broaden your horizons, so to say. You know, I've gotten more downloads since I've started my post. I've gotten more traffic on my website. So far, so good.
Okay. Amy, are you still with us, Amy? I just lost you. Are you there?
Sorry.
Amy, you're also blogging now, and you've been blogging for not that long. What's your experience like as a new blogger?
It takes work. I have to sometimes come up with stuff because I'll be like, well, I could just say, today I brushed my teeth, and nobody would care. So I sort of have to, sometimes it goes a while before I have any material. I found the video blog was kind of nice because I didn't have to say a whole lot. I could just kind of be there, and I actually do all of my my ebook draws for my Twitter and Facebook accounts. I do them on my video blog, so I'm using that as kind of cross-promotion as well. So I'm liking blogging. Lately I've been bad at keeping up with it, but I kind of use it to document every stage of what I've been doing as well. So yeah, it's fun.
Okay, so you're enjoying video blogging, and it feels easier than always coming up with new information.
Yeah.
That's one of the real challenges for bloggers, is coming up with new things to talk about. I've got 2 main blogs. One is for my novels, and the other is for my how-to books. And I find it's much easier to write about my how-to books because it's just information that has to do with the industries that I'm involved with. When I'm talking about my novels, it feels like all I'm doing is self-promoting. And so I have to get creative with how to talk about the subjects within my novels instead of my novels themselves. You know, the subjects, which doesn't feel like self-promotion. Sonia, you're a pretty active blogger, is that correct?
Yes, I stick to twice a week, and I've done it for over 3 years. So Mondays and Thursdays.
How important is your blog to what you're doing?
It is extremely important, especially, well, I was going to say especially now, but that's not true. It was important to build an audience, and now it's important because I'm trying to build a book buzz about my upcoming book. So I don't feel like I'm overly promoting, because for 3 years I was basically writing articles and trying to make friends. So now people know that I've been trying so hard to get this book out that I don't feel, I mean, people are like, oh, that's great, what's going on with you now? So it's more like they're asking me what's going on, and I'm not feeling like I'm trying to sell anything. So in a way, it's really crucial. I highly recommend it to everyone. And I know it's difficult to come up with content, especially fiction, like you said, Jason. But one of the things that you mentioned too is if you can pick, like let's say that your main character in your novel is a Russian spy or something, you could always talk about things going on in Russia or at that time period, or accents. I mean, there's always a way that you can link even a novel to blogging. But I don't write novels, so for me it's easier with the gutsy. The gutsy theme has helped me tremendously because I can basically apply it to so many different angles. So.
Okay. I know Samantha and Sherry, you're blogging too. Samantha, how important is your blog to your marketing, and what kind of marketing methods do you stick with on your blog?
Well, for a while I've used it to just kind of post free chapters here or there, something interesting, and I've posted free audio of the first chapter. And that got pretty good hits and got people interested because they just have to go there and read. And you can use podcasts, and there's all kinds of pod people out there that you can put your book online for free. And here lately I've been trying to pull in more indie authors by talking about book covers, and I've blogged about Google Hangout today, and things that might interest the author. I sort of hit for the fans for a few months, and then I'll switch and go to the indie authors. And as we were just talking about in chat there, the stats on the blogger, you can check who's there daily, and so you can really kind of get psyched about blogging because you can see how many people have actually been there.
It's interesting, Samantha. So you said that you posted an audio chapter. Did you read the audio yourself?
Unfortunately, yes.
No, that's fine. Tell us how you produced that, because I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't know how to do an audio chapter. How did you create it?
I have an MP3 recorder, and it was really easy, and they're really cheap. You can get them on eBay or just about anywhere. And my hardest part is, as Amy will know, is cutting out the trains and the telephones and the dogs barking. So I had to do a few paragraphs at a time and then upload it into one full chapter. I used the podcast audio, and it's a real simple process. Just plug and play, more or less.
Okay, well, I think that's a really smart idea. It's something I haven't done, but I have plenty of time to listen to books. I don't have that much time to read books. People drive in their cars, and they've just got time to listen to books. It's a really smart thing to do.
My husband's a truck driver.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, hon. I'm just going to say my husband's a truck driver, so audio has been a huge part of our life, so it's just obviously one of the things I think of first.
Sherry, tell us how you use your blog for marketing.
For me, I'm a very reactive blogger. I really just blog when people ask questions. Unless I have something good to say, I don't really feel like I need to just post. So sooner or later, somebody's going to ask a question, and I just try to answer it the best I can and add images and add videos if it's something that I can show them how to do, either screen captures or audio. I listen to a whole lot of podcasts, so I'm all about doing audio versions and video versions and posting to YouTube. Anything I can do to teach, really, is what I do on my primary blog.
Give us a quick example of a question that someone would ask that would result in a blog post from you.
How in the world would you use a QR code to market a book?
Okay. Well, what about something that we haven't discussed tonight?
Let's see. Well, folks have asked me about Pinterest, and especially writers who want their pages pinned. You know, we've had a lot of discussion about the copyright issue and not pinning things and not violating copyright. But a lot of us, especially indie authors, do want our stuff shared everywhere. So the more traffic we get, the better. Well, one sure way to show people that, yes, I do want you to share this is to put those social networking buttons on your blog, including the pin it now or follow me on Pinterest buttons. So just today, as a matter of fact, I published a quick post on how to put those Pinterest buttons on your website.
Okay, I'm going to cut you off there because I do want to talk a little bit more about Pinterest in just a little bit, and I know that you're one of our experts, so I'm going to come back to you on that. That's a good segue. You're going to lead us into some social media. Obviously, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, where we are right now, LinkedIn, YouTube, so many social media sites, and we even had an entire episode of Indie Authors. Indie Authors number 6 was all about social media. But since this is marketing, it wouldn't be possible to not talk about social media. So real quickly, I want Michelle, can you share with us some of the social media sites that you're most active on?
Yeah, mine would be more of going into writers' forums, excuse me, and because you can find loads of readers in your genre, you can find other writers in your genre that you can connect with, and share with each other your books and make allies that way, and build an audience just simply by going to different writers' forums.
Okay, which writers' forums do you use the most?
Goodreads and Shelfara.
Shelfari, I believe, Shelfari.com from Amazon. It's basically Amazon's book club, isn't that right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then Goodreads Goodreads.com is a collection of people who love books. So this is both readers and authors. How do you participate at Goodreads?
Joining groups. Talking about other books, also going in and just finding different types of groups that you would be more comfortable in, like a book promotion, or talk about this book, or basically like joining book clubs.
Okay. Amy, can you mute yourself when you're typing? Michelle, what are the names of some of those book clubs within Goodreads and within Shelfari that are author-friendly?
Fictional. I go into like sci-fi, fantasy book clubs. I can't think of any right on the top of my head, but those are really good. Basically, if you're going in there to with the same genre, with something to contribute, offer up your opinions about a certain book, and just build conversations. People, they really connect with you that way.
Okay, so the main message is participate and be a regular member. And that's the best way to build network and build community, and then people will end up buying your book.
Exactly. It's kind of how what Samantha said. You build a network, and that's basically what it is networking.
Okay, Amy, coming back to you. What social media sites do you feel are most worth your time to be a regular at?
Well, Facebook is kind of an obvious one, just because I've already been there, so I already know people. I can set up groups there to set up my Facebook fan page. The coolest thing I've discovered through actually a cousin of mine who has her own business on Facebook, is something called Ladders, where you actually go and you click on somebody's site, hit like, and you have to share their site, and they have to do the same. And you're doing it with, like, a ladder can be as few as 5 or as many as 100 or more before the person who hosts the ladder cuts it off. So you get all those people liking your site. So when your likes go up, you've got other people who go back to their page who know them, who are saying, oh, they like this page, I wonder what's so great about it. And it starts, I think Facebook is one of my biggest ones. And the Goodreads one, I'm slowly starting to get on that one. I found the way to get into that was actually doing reviews. I went into something called Read It and Reap. There's a section I went on, and there's a book club on there as well. That I'm actually, my book is coming out June 11th. They're going to put that in the book club for reviews. And that's one of the things I've been doing. I've been reviewing books that look interesting to me. I review them, and then my name kind of gets out there. So when my book comes out, people will be like, oh, maybe I should review her book. So those are kind of my two major ones, and Twitter, although I'm not as often on Twitter as I should be. And obviously YouTube now that I'm doing the video blog.
Okay, we're going to talk about YouTube in just a second, but tell me more about this ladders thing. If someone didn't know about doing ladders but was interested in doing that, how would they find how to join a ladder group?
Well, oh man, I wish I had that link with me. But essentially, I think you can just do ladders.com to research it. But I had a cousin who sent me a whole bunch of links and said, go to these pages, and people, they host it, and it just says, it's got the rules, and it says, like a person's page, share it, come back, post your own page, and then you end up with all these people in this list, and they're all called ladders. So you can even just, you can probably type in ladders on Facebook, and it'll bring up a whole bunch of links. And then you're essentially getting your work out to people that don't know you. And the ladder thing is fun, because all you're doing pretty much you can sit there for half an hour clicking buttons. It's pretty much you're doing are clicking buttons and typing and sharing and copy-pasting and going back. But it increases people. Like, I have a lot of people there. I don't know them from anybody. They don't know me. But now people know that they are interested in my site, and I'm interested in their site. And it kind of, it's not too hard to get onto. It takes a little bit of time.
You mentioned one other comment that I'd like to talk about, and so let me stick with you, Amy. You talked about doing reviews for other people.
Yeah.
Did you find that doing reviews for other people helps you get reviews from people?
Well, interestingly enough, I actually just finished a review for somebody who had shortly thereafter reviewed my book. We were in the same general genre. I'm in young adult and she's in romance, so we weren't. Amazon has actually a rule that you can't review the same genre on Amazon as somebody else. Like, they can't have the same genre, so ours are just different enough that we're able to. And I didn't even ask her to. I reviewed her book just because that's one of the things I do now. And she said, oh, well, I'd like to read your book. So it starts to, and on Goodreads especially, I'm finding that a lot of these people, they come back and they say, thank you for your review, and I know they're going to come back looking for my book because they're going to be interested in it. It's like if it's a really bad review, they're not going to come back to me. But I try to be, I even actually had one book on Goodreads, I won't say what it was, that I really, really hated, but I was very good about how I said that, it just wasn't for me, but I made sure that there was, they call it the sandwich effect, where you have something good with something constructive with something good. And that's kind of how my reviews go. So, yeah, I'm hoping. I have at least one review so far that I've gotten from doing that. So.
Okay. I didn't know that Amazon has a policy against reviewing a genre that you write in. Are you
I
sure
found it out on
about
one of my Facebook groups. Yeah, one of my Facebook groups. I don't remember. I'm on so many right now. But one of them said that they instilled a new policy because they don't want to have the whole scratching somebody else's back thing where anybody can, well, I'm in the romance genre, I'll go review their book and I'll give them a really good review and even I haven't read the book. So as far as I know, I'm not positive on that. It's kind of a hearsay, but that's what I've heard.
I'm not so sure that that's true. I think that it is. I think that it is true that you cannot do a review for like your wife or your husband or your kid. But I don't think that there's a rule against reviewing a genre that you write in. But let's not talk about that anymore. I want to keep talking about reviews, though. Michelle, you do a fair amount of reviews. Is that true?
Yeah. Just
Can you tell us
like
how that works?
it works
In terms
it works,
of doing reviews to get reviews?
It works really well. People, all authors, you know, we all want our books reviewed, and it's good to give some to get some, you know. So I go on Goodreads, and I'll go into the review section, and if because they'll post, you know, most authors, what they should is when you go in there and you want to review, you put it in your book name, of course, the title, and the book blurb, and information of how to get it, and try to post it for free so people will be more interested into reading your book if it's free, of course. So I'll go in there and I'll find a book that I like and review it, let them know that I'm reviewing it, and hopefully like it, because I hate to give bad reviews. I've had to do a couple of those, but you have to be really delicate. Excuse me, really delicate. Even if it's like the most horrible book you've ever read, you don't want to be mean. Always.
Right. It's better to maybe leave a 3-star review and say something like, I read an early version of this book, and I know the author was still working on some of the typos or grammar issues or something like that, than just to totally pan it and say, terrible book, 1 star, that kind of thing. Sonia, you did something interesting recently. You did a video review, is that correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I thought, you know, most people do written reviews, and I thought, well, since I haven't done very many reviews, why not try a video review? And I remember you saying that YouTube is, after Google, is the biggest search engine. So I thought, oh, well, maybe video reviews are the way to go if you haven't done too many. So yeah, that was fun, and I plan on doing the video and then the little blurb in writing, so I have both, and make it short. The trouble is trying to memorize what you want to say, so I've
right.
kind of I've glued it onto my little flip camera, so I'm trying not to read it, but I still look like I'm reading it. But anyway, yeah. That was
okay,
fun.
now you posted the review on YouTube, but you also could post it on Amazon, correct?
Right. I had to download it to my computer, and then put it on Amazon afterwards. So that's how I did it. Yeah.
And I looked into it, and it's very similar to writing a review. Basically, when you click the reviews button, there's a little tab that says create your own review, and then they actually have a choice whether it's a written review or a video review. And if it's a video review, then they just ask you to upload what you have from your camera. I think it's a genius way to start getting more attention for your reviews. And who knows, maybe if you keep doing this in the future, authors will actually contact you and ask you for a video review and be willing to give things in return.
Well, let me just tell you what happened today is the person that I reviewed asked me if he could put it on his website. So,
see, wonderful.
Yeah. So he's putting it on his website, and I said that would be great as long as you put a link at the bottom, just a link to my website. So so that would be a neat way if everybody wanted to do that and do videos and then get the links on the website of these authors.
That sounds like a great idea. Okay, I want to shift topics just a little bit here. Something I said at the very beginning of the show was that most authors do this the way that I do. They write a book, and then when the book is finished, then they start marketing the book. How many authors, just a quick show of hands, we can see everyone, even though maybe you can't see us. How many authors here did it that way, wrote the book first and then started marketing? Okay. However, how many authors, once they did their second or third or fourth book, started doing more marketing before the book was finished? Because they realized how difficult that was going to be. Okay, I'm going to talk with you three now. Samantha, tell us how you started marketing marketing more on your second and third book before they were finished than you did with your first book, and why?
Well, when you do your first book, you usually don't have a clue what you're doing, so you're just kind of jumping in feet first and learning as you go. So when you get the second book come out, you can realize that, you know, hey, I need to do this, I need to do that. So I didn't do anything like big, like I didn't, you know, make any press announcements or anything like that, but I just kind of let people know. I said, you know, okay, it's going to be out on this date, and like I said, a lot of mine was just, I just had to let people know, because when you write a series, that's a big marketing tool, because people want the next book, especially if you can kind of leave them with a little cliffhanger where they want to know what's going to go on. But a lot of Facebook, a lot of Twitter, a lot of blog posts, pushing the book trailers, all that is very helpful in getting the promoting of the second book coming out.
Do you also include stuff for your next book in the? It's a series, so is it meant to be read in order, and then you do a teaser at the end or something like that?
I did not, but I'm going to do that. I'm going to go back with the ebook on book 2 and add a teaser for book 3. And that's a good suggestion that I didn't think of that. But that's one thing about this show I love. I'm all time learning something new that I should have done.
and the great thing about ebooks is you can always go and upload a chapter for a teaser at the end of your book and just republish it, and it's almost instantaneously done on some of these sites. Sherry, you raised your hand. You said that you're. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Samantha. Go ahead.
That's all right. I just redid my book trailer for my first book, and I did exactly that and put a teaser at the end of it for book 2. So that's always a good point, to try to push book 2 with 1 or 3 with 2.
Excellent. Sherry, you raised your hand. What kind of marketing are you doing before the book is ready?
Well, the large project that I'm working on right now is going to be on how to pass an essay. So I got lucky enough to get the domain howtopassanessay.com, and I'm actually doing video lessons and textual versions of the lessons to go with that, and I'm giving away the first lessons for free. Actually, I've got to finish this part. I'm still working on the website, but I'm going to put up an AWeber form so people can opt into an email list, so that they can have those lessons delivered to their email boxes regularly for the free ones, the free mini course, and to be notified when the full version is going to be available, which will end up being an interactive ebook with a lot of links to the video lessons and such. So I'm trying to pre-market by giving away free lessons so they can get a taste for my teaching style and what the full product will be.
Okay. Are you getting some feedback from people out there that they're getting excited for your book to be ready?
Not a lot. I'm not really advertising it that much because I'm still working on it, and I'm a little nervous about pre-selling. You know, I'm doing it because I know it's the right thing to do, and folks are searching now because they don't need to wait until I'm done with the product. If they need to know how to write an attention getter, they need to know that now. So I'm putting up those little pieces, and people are finding those individual lessons. So I still haven't put up the email opt-in form, so I'm really working on this project.
Well,
Very much a work in process.
One of the really smart things about pre-selling or even attempting to pre-sell is it gives you more reason to hurry up and get your book finished, doesn't it?
Yeah, just a little bit of pressure there. And this one especially because it is a multimedia ebook. It's the first time I've done this with video lessons tied in with links and URLs, to this extent anyway. And I'm really not that comfortable doing the video lessons. I don't have a problem standing out in front of the classroom and teaching or writing it. Of course, writing is easy, but doing these video lessons directly into a webcam one-on-one is just a little unnerving. So.
Okay. Okay, Elena, you raised your hand when I mentioned doing more marketing before the book comes out as opposed to after the book comes out. Is this a lesson that you learned?
It certainly is. And my next book is a non-fiction book. It's called 15 Guide to Writing Good Fiction. So I'm not doing a lot of hype about it, but I have put a notice on the front page my website saying coming soon. And I put out a twice weekly blog. One on the Sundays, it's book reviews. On Wednesdays, it's about writing and editing. And at the moment, I'm doing an editing series. And I've mentioned the forthcoming book in that several times. And I've actually had responses back on the website and also on Facebook from people saying that they'd be interested in it when it's finally published. So I think it's working for me. I mean, how much it's going to drive sales, I don't know, but I think it is working for me.
Okay. I feel like I'm backtracking because I do want to talk a little bit more about Pinterest. Is anyone besides Sherry actively using Pinterest right now? Okay. Oh, you are, Alana. We'll stay with you then. What's your experience been like? Now, for those who don't know much about Pinterest, and I honestly don't know much about it, but I do know it's now the third largest social media site behind Facebook and Twitter, and that means that it's growing exponentially. Alana, what's your experience with Pinterest been like?
Well, I'm fairly new to it. What I've done is I've put up all of my books, and I'm getting regular pins, repinning on my books. But I'm also using it as another way of getting out, the things that I'm doing. Like I've got a board for books that I've reviewed. It's empty at the moment. I haven't put any in because I need the time to do it. But I'm using it as an adjunct to everything else I'm doing. Obviously, I think the way that everyone else is using it too.
Okay, Sherry, what advice would you have for someone who's just getting started with Pinterest and doesn't know much about it?
Sure. First thing is you need an invitation. Pinterest really focused on the sense of urgency and limited supply, so you have to have an invitation to get on Pinterest. Well, of course, that's really not that hard. You can go to Pinterest.com and just ask for an invitation, or if you're active on Facebook, seriously, just put a message out there and ask, can someone send me an invitation to Pinterest, and you'll get it really quickly. It's just a matter of clicking a couple of things to send it either through your Facebook connection to somebody or email. Once you are on there, there's an option about adding friends and people you want to follow, and all the people that you're connected to on Facebook and Twitter, you can browse through and follow all of them. So that's really the key, is you want to start following people that you know so that you'll start seeing more things that interest you. When you first sign up to Pinterest, it's just a big hodgepodge of everything. And you may see nothing but cooking and recipes and baby bottles or rain boots or all kinds of different stuff. But the more you focus in on the people that you know and the more you start liking pins, the more Pinterest starts learning what you want to see. So it's very adaptive.
Okay, so you're saying to follow pins that have to do with your subjects or interest, and then those people will likely start following you and also posting your pins.
Very likely. Most of the people that I'm friends with on Facebook also follow me on Pinterest because it's so easy to see those connections. So that's the first cue, is look for your Facebook friends on Pinterest. And it's a very female-dominated market, too. I saw some statistics on it the other day. I think it was 70% of users on Pinterest are female, and I think the age group was around 25 to 35 or 45.
Well, that
like that
also sounds like the most active readers, in my opinion, as well.
Yes. Yeah, but it's not just limited to women either. I've got a lot of friends on Pinterest who are guys, and sometimes you don't have to follow all their boards either. You can either follow everything a person posts on Pinterest, or you can select a specific board. I have a male friend who likes to follow my parties and events board because I put up all kinds of games that you can, the lawn darts and slip and slides and things that you can do with kids at outdoor parties and things. And he just likes those images. But he doesn't follow everything that I post. So,
is Pinterest sort of like a visual version of Twitter?
it is very much like a visual version. You can post, or you can pin either an image or a video, and that's what's going to first catch your eye. But just like Twitter can use hashtags so that people can search for those hashtags and narrow down what they want to see on Twitter, you can use keywords when you search Pinterest to either search for the pin board that you've posted to, for example, books or book reviews or Christian romance mystery, whatever you want to call that pin board, and then they can also search the text that you post about that specific pin. So like if Samantha posted an image of her ebook with the Christian romance thing, she can actually put down a description, I think of about 500 characters, that also sends those keywords out for search.
So for an indie author, it sounds like a smart way to use Pinterest is to not only have your book covers, but maybe lots of images that have to do with the subject of your books.
Absolutely.
Does that sound true?
Especially for nonfiction. For fiction, I found that a lot of authors are actually putting pictures of themselves and pictures from their daily lives. One of the Southern writers that I like to follow Jocelyn Jackson's blog. She's a Southern chick lit writer. And, you know, all the posts there, she talks about things from her normal life. You know, like she can't find the salad dressing she wants, so she's going to move. You know, really silly stuff, but you never know what's going to catch your attention. Okay,
good. We've got a lot to discuss still, so let me move on. I want to talk about the subject of contests. One thing about marketing, I think, is just getting creative, trying something new and seeing if it works. I know some of our authors have tried some contests, and I've even tried it a little bit, not with that much success. But Sonia, you've got an interesting contest that you run, a weekly contest, isn't that correct?
Yes. I mentioned it before. I started it in October of last year, and I never knew how long it would last. It's still going on. I'm still getting people submitting their My Gutsy story, which is a story about something that changed them or made their life take a different direction. It covers so many different topics, and I post one every Monday. And then once a month, we vote on our favorite My Gutsy story of the month. And the winner of that contest gets to pick a prize from one of the 14 sponsors on the contest. So, and Jason, thank you for being a sponsor.
Yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure. I'm happy to be a sponsor. Now, if someone is listening and they have a My Gutsy story that they'd like to enter into the weekly contest, how would they contact you? What's the website again?
They can either go to Gutsy, Gutsy living.com, so gutsyliving.com, and on the top they will find the My Gutsy Story contest and just click on that. Or they can go to my Sonia, S-O-N-I-A, Marsh, M-A-R-S-H.com. So either one will take you there.
Okay,
and
yeah,
it's been great. It's been great because I get stories like today. Yesterday, I had a story from a young woman who's British, who likes to live an unconventional life, and she's in Greece, teaching kids in Greece. So it's just fascinating to read all these different stories from around the world.
Okay, that's great. Amy, I know that you have a different contest where you have people like one of your pages, and as soon as you get a certain number of likes, a lucky reader gets a free ebook. Is that correct?
Yeah, essentially, I can't take credit for this contest. I learned it from another one of my friends on one of these Facebook pages, and I asked her permission. I said, can I use this because it's fantastic? And she has well over, at least 2,000 likes on there now, and I'm like, I don't know how I keep track, but she does, and every time she gets 25 likes, she puts up another contest, and she'll send off an ebook. And the simple thing is pretty much I sign it, I send it, and I have it in PDF or ebook or PDF or EPUB format, and I'm doing it both on Facebook and Twitter actually. So my Twitter followers every 25, and my Facebook followers every 25. I'm actually going to be doing another one just this coming Friday. So if everybody's interested in getting in on that, it's facebook.com/author Ian McGuire. And if you're on Twitter, I'm getting up to 40 in a couple follows. So go to She's an Author. Those are my 2 ebook draws.
Okay, sounds good. Just a quick show of hands. Has anybody else on the panel done a contest? Okay. Well, I've done. Oh, you have, Samantha. Would you tell us about the contest that you're doing?
Well, I haven't done recently, but every now and then, when the book first came out, I would just go to the top shelf, and they would just auction off books away, sort of just say the first 5 or 6 people that post gets a free ebook, and we would do it from Smashwords. And it really got me a lot of reviews, and you know, I was very happy with it, and I hope to do it again with book 2.
Okay, Top Shelf. I'm not familiar with Top Shelf. Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's just a book club. It's one of the many Facebook clubs, and Misty Rayburn, I believe it is, runs it, and she does a very good job at running the contest, and she's really backed up. She hasn't been able to get to my book 2 yet, but she has a lot of contests.
Okay, okay. Michelle, you're a regular on Goodreads. I know that Goodreads does giveaways pretty frequently. I've actually done 2 giveaways with Goodreads. Have you ever done that?
About all I did post on one of their giveaway sites, and nothing. And all I did was just post that it was for free for a limited time on Smashwords. I don't know if that, I guess that qualifies as a giveaway.
Okay, well, did you find an increase in activity in your Smashwords downloads?
Absolutely.
Okay, okay. People like freebies. Are you thinking about doing it? Are you thinking about doing it again?
Perhaps for a limited time for my second novel, a little bit of or right after it's published. I might do that for a limited time just to get the ball rolling. But I am planning on doing loads of advertising beforehand.
Okay. I'm glad that we've focused primarily on free things to do. We have a little bit of time left, just a few minutes in the show, and I'd like to talk a little bit about some paid forms of marketing. Excuse me. I'm going to go to Alana eventually, but before I do, I want to ask anybody in the panel, have you done any paid forms of advertising that you felt were worthwhile? So far, nobody's even raising a hand. Okay, let me ask it a different way. Have you ever done any paid advertising that you felt was not worthwhile? Am I the only one? Michelle, what did you do, Michelle, that was not worthwhile?
Believe it or not, paid for a press release.
Okay, and there are free press releases out there as well. Exactly. I think press releases can be challenging when it's fiction. For some reason, I think they go more naturally with nonfiction, but maybe that's just me. I've done all kinds of bad marketing that I paid for, but Alana shared some links with us, and I'm gonna copy and paste them in the chat box. I don't know if we're going to be able to get any of these on the screen, but one of them that I thought looked really good was KindleNationDaily.com. And all of these are different websites. One is called KindleNationDaily.com. Another is called the KindleBookReview.blogspot.com.au. And another is called WorldLiteraryCafe.com. Hey, Alana, I'm going to keep you on mute for just a second longer. And then the third is called, or fourth is digitalbooktoday.com. And all of these places have paid or free versions of advertising for Kindle books. Elena, I'm going to open you back up. Elena, have you used any of these services? Elena, have you used any of these websites like Kindle Nation Daily? Elena, can you hear me? I don't think she's muted, but unfortunately we're having a technical sound problem. Anyway, Kindle Nation Daily, all of these have different programs, anywhere from free to $40 to even $300, where they basically blast out Twitter and Facebook announcements about your book and what it's about, and links to your Amazon page. And there's literally 40, 50,000 people that it goes to every day. Alana, can you hear me now?
I'm on now.
Okay, have you used any of these websites like Kindle Nation Daily?
I've only just found Kindle Nation Daily. I've been keeping my eye on Kindle Book Review, World Literary Cafe, and Digital Books Today for a little while. They offer quite comprehensive services, both unpaid and paid. One thing that I have dipped my toe into the Kindle Book Review is the best indie book 2012 at the moment, and that is open until I think the 15th of May, but it costs $15 to enter your book, and I have entered one of my books into that. That's the first thing I've done. But what they require to promote your book is at least 10 reviews with 4 and 5-star ratings. So I'm still working my way towards that for both of my novels, and then I'll be approaching them to try and get them promoted on the site.
Okay. Well, that sounds terrific, and that sounds like something that I'd be interested in trying if I was going to spend money again doing any kind of advertising. I love the free things, but if I was going to pay for it, that might be good. I'm getting the signal from our crew chief that we are out of time, so we're going to wrap this show up. I just want to thank all of our wonderful authors on the panel. Thank you for being with us. For listeners, thank you for being with us. If you ever have questions, please contact us through hangoutnetworks.com, and hopefully we can help you. Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.